With all my reviews for the Daniel Craig James Bond movies officially out, it is time for me to rank all 5 of these movies. If you've been keeping up with my reviews for these movies, you probably have a good idea of how I would rank them, but if you have not, there's a good chance that I take you by surprise. My ranking is not the same as how many others would rank these 5 movies. So without further ado, and to give the proper send-off to the Daniel Craig James Bond era, let's get started with number 5. Okay, this has to be the least expected entry on my list. I'm pretty sure there is not a single person out there who does not rank Quantum of Solace dead last out of the Daniel Craig James Bond films. First off, the movie is way too short. It clocks in just around an hour and 45 minutes. I know Quantum of Solace's editing is also a hot discussion when discussing the movie. I can't help but to agree. The editing in Quantum of Solace is atrocious. It is some of the worst editing for any Bond movie out there. The poor editing especially affects the action sequences in Quantum of Solace because, for God's sake, I can never tell what's going on in them. I think the plot is convoluted and messy. The villain is throwaway. I can never remember the guy's first name, only his last, Green. That just shows you how forgettable of a villain he is. The reason why I don't really mind Quantum of Solace, though, I can throw it on and have a good time because of some of the action sequences when the editing isn't so sloppy. Daniel Craig and the cast are great, and the name of this movie is really cool. It's just way too anticlimactic and small scale coming off Casino Royale for it to be good, but it is very nostalgic, so like I said, I don't mind watching the movie. Number 4. The latest Bond release, No Time to Die, lands at number 4. I guarantee you that many people will disagree with my ranking of No Time to Die, but I personally think this movie is slightly worse than Spectre. Oops, spoilers for number 3. Unlike Quantum of Solace, this movie has the opposite problem. It's way too long, and therefore it takes a while for the movie to really get rolling. Also, same thing, villain in this movie, played by Rami Malek, is a pretty crappy villain. I was hoping that they would do something different. I mean, Rami Malek is a man full with talent. This guy has excellent range when it comes to his acting, but he was unfortunately misused and his goal was bonkers. And while there are some pretty cool action sequences in No Time to Die and the cinematography looks really cool, I feel they could have gone bigger and better with the action in this film. It's underwhelming coming off of some pretty good action in Spectre and especially great action in the first 2 great James Bond movies from Craig. There's no question it's a better movie than Quantum of Solace. That's not really a debate. I mean, this movie's worst action scene is probably better than the best action scene in Quantum of Solace. The cast is great. I love the banter between the characters. The direction is fantastic from Cary Fukunaga. From time to time, the cinematography is breathtaking, in particular during some of the movie's best action sequences. And the finale is fun. I would consider this finale a step above the finale we got in Spectre, which makes this movie a better send-off for Daniel Craig playing Bond. Number 3. But again, Spectre is the better movie for me right now. That might change after I see No Time to Die a second time in theaters or after I rewatch the other 4 Daniel Craig movies again. I guess I slightly prefer Spectre over No Time to Die because it feels more similar to Skyfall and Casino Royale. And part of that has to do with Sam Mendes coming back to direct Spectre after doing a great job at directing Skyfall. So the tone is there for me in Spectre. This is how a James Bond movie should look and feel. Christoph Waltz is great. Definitely an improvement over Rami Malek's villain. Every single time he's on the screen, you can feel his presence. I also love how mysterious they kept his character in this movie. There's a lot of action and it can be thrilling, but of course this movie never reaches the heights of Casino Royale and Skyfall. A lot of that has to do with the subplot involved in Spectre, where MI6 is being infiltrated by C and his goons who work for Spectre. All of that is quite boring, and going back to the action sequences, the film didn't go nearly as far as it could have with the action sequences, which was also a major problem for me with No Time to Die. It probably had something to do with Daniel Craig getting hurt on set, but it's a James Bond movie. The action has to be terrific in order for me to enjoy it. So like No Time to Die, there certainly were missed opportunities with the story and the action sequences in Spectre, but because of the tone and because of the villain played by Christoph Waltz terrifically, I think I like this movie a little bit more, but that could change. Number 2. Placing second is Casino Royale. Many people have Casino Royale as not only the best Daniel Craig Bond movie, but the best James Bond movie of all time. And while I definitely think it's top 3, there is one other movie I would take over it. However, Casino Royale being a top 3 James Bond movie is still saying a lot because there are so many good James Bond movies out there. The action is mind-blowing in Casino Royale. The parkour and the airport sequences are 2 of my all-time favorite action sequences. The poker scene is tension-filled. It takes up about a third of the movie, and during this 45-minute scene, there is not a single moment where I don't feel like I'm on the edge of my seat. Casino Royale is a grittier take on the Bond character as well. The violence in Casino Royale pushes the envelope here and there for a PG-13 movie. Le Chiffre, played by Mads Mikkelsen, the movie's main villain, is so good. Mads Mikkelsen is never bad in a movie, and in Casino Royale, he might turn out one of his all-time best performances. And there's a surprising, tragic love story tacked on to Casino Royale, which, if you're watching for the first time, is unexpected. The only reason I have this movie ranked number 2 is because the final 15 minutes do feel like they don't need to be there, but that's about it. Number 1. There was never a doubt that Skyfall is my favorite movie of the Daniel Craig James Bond era. This goes down as one of my all-time favorite films. It is a perfect movie in my opinion. I love the fact that M is technically Skyfall's Bond girl. It completely differentiates from what we've come to know for the James Bond character. Javier Bardem puts on a show as the movie's main villain, Silva, a villain I can empathize with. I see exactly where he's coming from and I can feel his pain. The cinematography is some of my favorite in movie history. It's great that we get Moneypenny, Q, and Ralph Fiennes, who makes his debut as the new M in Skyfall. All of those characters have become some of my favorite in the Daniel Craig James Bond era. It doesn't hurt that the movie's action is some of my all-time favorite. I love the opening, and the finale is epic. It's as epic as you can get for a James Bond movie, and one that still to this day makes me tear up at M's death. If Skyfall was Daniel Craig's finale as James Bond, I would have been satisfied with that result, because no Daniel Craig Bond movie outside of Casino Royale comes even close to touching Skyfall. This is a masterpiece, and it is my favorite of the 5 Craig movies. Alright, there you guys have it. That is my ranking for all 5 of Daniel Craig's James Bond movies. If you also have your list, be sure to let me down below in the comment section what your list is. I hope it's not too long until we hear about the next James Bond movie. I know it's only been about 5 days since I saw No Time to Die in theaters, but every single time I watch these movies, I just can't help but to think about the future of the franchise, especially with a new Bond that we'll be getting next. And of course, as always, guys, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.